Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Wake and Jake, a surprise edition for you, me, and all the people. Bernie Williams was with us. We just finished the interview. He came through the office. He's got a show he's promoting, Carnegie Hall. Whoops. Sorry, Bernie. Bernie was awesome. We recorded a Sporkle with him. That'll be out on Talking Yanks. Asked a little bit about the current Yanks and where they're at, down 2-0. So we figured we'd get that out to the people. We talked some ball. And if you are a big Wake and Jake person, a longtime Baker, you know that my mother used to joke that Bernie was my father. And that did come up. So thank you guys. Appreciate all of you for a sneak little episode. We got baseball tonight in the AL. Yanks are down 2-0. I hope the next Wake and Jake isn't goodbye to the Yankee season. And we'll see. But today's episode is brought to you by Lids. Fans, time to gear up. We're here. It's October. And Lids is the place you can find all your Yankees headwear and apparel needs for the postseason. New releases or any of the classics, such as the New Era Authentic Collection, on-field apparel, and more. Lids has you covered. They always have. And now, Lids has Topps trading cards at all their stores, so add to your collection. And right now, Lids is hooking up our listeners with an awesome offer. All you have to do is text YANKS to 29017. That's YANKS to 29017, and you'll receive 20% off your next headwear or apparel purchase. Some exclusions do apply. All right, Bern. We are welcomed by a very special guest. It is Burnaby Figueroa. I used to say Burnaby Figueroa Williams. Is it Burnaby Williams Figueroa?
Well, no, it is Burnaby Williams Figueroa. The Figueroa is my mother's maiden name.
Okay.
In Puerto Rico, we use both names.
Okay.
It wasn't a middle name. It was my mom's maiden name.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
So happy you're here, man. And I got some Yankees questions, some music questions, and you got a big show coming up with Jonathan Tettleman, Carnegie Hall, January 13th, 8 p.m. I guess let's start there because I just said it. What makes this show different for you?
I think it's a dream come true. I see that Carnegie Hall is, one of the premier venues to play music in the world.
Yeah.
You talk about La Scala in Italy, the Hall, Albert Music Hall in London. I mean, all of that in Carnegie Hall is one of those places. So I think is a testament to, work that we have put in, not only in baseball, but opening the door and then being able to deliver in music. I was fortunate enough to attend the Manhattan School of Music after I retired from baseball and graduated in 2016 with a degree in jazz performance. And I've been literally playing all over the world. And it has been just an incredible experience. So to have the collaboration with John Tettleman, one of the premier operatic tenors in the world right now. And it's just a combination of operatic classical music meeting the sports, jazz, pop world. And we're going to have a lot of great music and just kind of like crossover those both worlds. And it's so excited. So exciting.
I'm excited. I could tell that by the way you talk about it, how excited it is. And for us Yankee fans that whenever you show up at the stadium and we get a Bernie day where you're doing the anthem or something like that, it's like, yes, let's go. Bernie's in the building. We're playing music. Let's go.
I am so excited always to go to the stadium. I think, the fan base in New York is just the best in the world. I think they appreciate, even after, almost 30 years, they still appreciate, the guys that won for them. And it's just a great thing to be a part of. Man, it's really cool. It's very cool.
Well, the current Yankees are in a tough spot. They're in a 2-0 hole. But
tell me about it, man. Are you kidding me?
You've been in that yourself while you were on the Yankees. Does anything change? Does the mentality change, or it's just like, hey, we got to win one baseball game today, and then we got to see what happens next?
Yeah, I think you kind of dissect it even more. I think it's just one at bat at a time, one pitch at a time. I think it sounds kind of cliche-ish, but that's the only way that you can control your emotions and not really think about the big picture without, kind of like being in the moment. and taking care of the present is the only way that the future is gonna reveal itself. And if you do your things, what you need to do in the moment, in hindsight, you're gonna look and you're gonna see the body of work. They just need to just take it one step at a time. We've been in that situation in both sides of the coin. In '96, losing 2,
right,
winning, 3 in a row in Atlanta and coming back and finishing up at the stadium. And then the other side of that coin in '04 was, being up and then losing 4 in a row. I mean, I think that's the magic of this game. It gives you the opportunity to experience life in many different ways.
The highs and lows.
The highs and lows, the really high highs and the really low lows. And the truth always lies somewhere in between. I think it's a great experience. But I think these Yankees are kind of due to do something special. I mean, this generation, this particular reiteration of the team with, built around Judge as the captain, they're due to do something special. I mean, they have been so short, coming up so short and so many times, that they have to be due, man. They have to be due to do something good.
For the postseason in general, did you treat it same game as the same game, or did you treat it as a bigger game and maybe I need to hyper-focus more on something? What was your mentality?
I think it was a combination of both things. I think, you can't forget what got you there. And having the body of work of the whole season, doing things the right way, may not be a reason to start changing things in the postseason, right? So you kind of have this combination of knowing that what got you there is the thing that you have to rely on, and dealing with the emotional aspect of the games meaning a little bit more because it's the postseason. You're tired. You've been playing through a whole full 162 games. You're playing on fumes, but mentally you get this reinvigorated situation where it's like, man, I know I'm tired, but this is no time to rest. I mean, I got to give it all I have and play with whatever I have and give it all. I think it's a good situation to have. I knew I do have a lot of experience with that because in my career we spent a lot of time in the postseason, and then from 95, 96 on, it was almost every year. So we had this sort of level of expectation. Of we were not Kansas City, we were not the Tigers. We were expected to be in the postseason every single year, and it was kind of an attitude that was from the bad boy, the ball boy, to the owner of the team. Everybody had that mentality and that set of expectations, and then the fans were just kind of jumping in the bandwagon, and just enjoying that whole thing. And I think it was just a great time to be a Yankee. Definitely for me.
It was a great time. Joe's, all the Yankee fans in our office, a lot of us fell in love with baseball in that time. And yeah, you guys might have ruined our expectations because my God, what
I
those teams did.
Man. I understand. And yeah, I think it gets.
But thank you for that.
It was a great time, and I think we kind of have it, kind of ruined them for them. Not ruin them for them, but just set the bar so high for this, modern Yankees. And the game is slightly different. I think the advent of a big dose of analytics and the efforts of the organizations to lessen the time that we play. I think time is becoming less of an issue, or more of an issue the way you think about it. When in my time, I felt that it was my time on the batter's box. I could call time out however many times I wanted.
Those timeouts.
And yes, whether it was my contact getting dry or having some thought in my
head. It felt like that would always happen at those strangest moments for you.
Trying to get Pedro off his game. Whatever the case may be, I think, obviously baseball is, in all sports, they're a reflection of the society that we live. I mean, less time, less attention span. We have to adapt or die. So I think, the game is making some of those changes, and I think players are making some of those changes in their mind and the way that they approach the game as well.
Yeah, we always get a good laugh now that, a lot of hitters now, if they get 2 strikes, that's when they use their time, that it's funny that's become part of the strategy, which it was part of the strategy, but now within these new rules, they're finding new ways to use them to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
Hey, what I guess you mentioned analytics, and I don't want this to be shots fired, but we meet a lot of players, and analytics are what they are. They're stats, and use them to help you however they can help you. I guess, is there something that you feel in today's modern game that either the scouts or the analytics are missing, that we've already seen a bounce back in starting pitchers going a little longer? Like, it used to be, the numbers said they get worse 3 times through, but then bullpens were getting so worn out that teams are like, oh, we need our starters to go longer. Is there something from the game right now that you think is going to come back more, or that maybe scouts or analytics are missing?
Well, I think, it's kind of a complicated question to answer, because I think, in analytics, there are numbers that, reflect a body of work. And with that body of work, you have a better understanding on predicting the future outcome of a situation. It's, and the end run of that is that, more times than not, you're going to be correct. But at any circumstance, anything can happen. Right. You can't really predict that. Numbers, from a player standpoint, scouting is based more about raw ability. Right. You got a certain size, you throw the ball a certain amount, a certain, velocity, and scouts are looking for that more than, maybe character, maybe grit. And I think, analytics, I don't think there's any amount of analytics that can measure, human drive, right. And the mental attitude and that intestinal fortitude that you need. That's different from every player. When you have a situation that, a guy with the right psychological makeup that can deliver for you, I don't know how analytics can measure that. Right. It's, but I think at the end of the day is going to be a combination between those, harvesting all that data, making sense of it, and then just give a little room for that human spirit that is always, present. And, it's very intangible to measure.
I want to ask you, I feel like whenever former players are asked, and it's like, what do you miss? And they're like, oh, the buses and the plane rides and the fun stuff, hanging out with the guys. I guess on the field, because there's so many different things that happen on a baseball field, whether it's going first to third or cutting a ball off in the gap. Like when I played, which different careers, but like third base, I loved a good bare hand play, like Scott Brocious and what he used to do over there.
He was the best.
And then my other favorite thing is being in center field, tracking a ball down in the gap. So I guess of like things that happen on a baseball field, what's the thing that you miss doing the most?
I miss seeing hit and run.
Ooh, okay.
The hit and run.
A good hit and run.
Yeah, righty, having the second baseman cheating a little bit into second base, the guy taking off and leaving that hole, and just the hitter just punching that hole straight there. Yes. And having that runner from first going to third. Perfect play, perfectly executed. There's not a lot of that lately.
No. Do you think there can be a little more? Because it's tough, because now guys are throwing so hard that they talk about not being able to control the bat. Do you think there can be a little more hit and run in the game?
I think there can be. I think, it doesn't matter how hard you throw, you still got to throw it within the box.
Right.
So, having that, discipline to make contact first and foremost, and then second, but not too far behind, making contact in the ground.
Yeah, right.
Which is kind of like, counter to, the philosophy of the launch angle, and just a little counterproductive if you're going to play that sort of play. So I think, in a way, I think the game is, they're taking steps to bringing the game back to maybe at least to maybe a little bit of where it used to be. They're, more making running. The bases bigger. They're encouraging base running and base stealing. I think, they took care of that shift that, it was probably the most frustrating thing for a hitter, to kind of like bunch up, all these fielders in one part of the field, and just hitting just a line drive and having somebody in mid right field
Right.
making a play on you. You know, to me that was just, oh man, that's just crazy.
Yeah, baseball made a good adjustment.
Yeah. And I think things like that at the end of the game is going to be a game that is going to adjust to the way that we live as a society. And you know, it's a ever evolving game. I mean, we don't play the same way that Babe Ruth, you know, and those guys played in the 30s, and then you know, then Mickey Mantle, DiMaggio, Yogi, and then now, you know, the 90s, you know, the 70s, the 90s, and now this game, and everybody seems to be throwing, you know, upwards of 95, 98, 99 miles an hour. But the hitters are getting stronger too.
Right.
You know, they're putting a lot more emphasis in their nutrition and in their, you know, preparation and working out. And I think the game is faster, stronger. People hit the ball a lot further. So I think you know, putting a lot of emphasis in the little details that, you know, those data harvesting guys are, you know, collecting, maybe just making really minimal adjustments in little aspects of the game that, you know, may be overlooked, you know, maybe 10 or 20 years ago, are making a big difference, you know, in the way that, you know, the game is going to evolve.
I love it. Bernie, I got one kind of a silly thing that I'd get you out of here with, and a reminder. Bernie Williams, Carnegie Hall, January 13th with Jonathan Tettleman. Going to be awesome, and I might know someone that'll be in attendance. Bernie, we grew up in this Yankees era with, you know, you, Jeets, Posada, Andy. That one of the jokes that we've stumbled into when we started doing this, Yankee moms love Andy Pettitte. Like Andy on the mound, the big Texan, like the long legs, the stern look. Everyone loved Jeter. My mother, massive Bernie Williams fan.
Oh,
massive
so
Bernie
cute.
Williams
Thank you.
fan.
Thank you.
That I gave David, who's producing, 2 pictures. I guess one, if you got the picture of me, I used to wear 51, a Bernie Williams fan. That's me playing Little League.
Man, look at that.
So
amazing.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, 12-year-old All-Stars, not a big deal.
That's a big deal, man.
I think,
At 12 years old, that's a big deal.
I think we went 0-3 in that tournament. And then a picture that my mother sent over that is her in her Bernie jersey.
Oh, that's
and I know you probably get a lot of this. You
priceless.
probably haven't gotten this part. And I'm never going to tell this to another guest again. My mom used to joke that you were my dad. So I know my dad. Nice guy, looks like me. But I think my mom had a crush on you. And the other side of that is I think she loved the way you played the game of baseball. So.
Oh man, that's so cute, man. It's kind of rare because I've found plenty of people that you know, they say, well, Derek was my favorite, but you were my grandma's favorite.
You had that market corner.
Yeah, it was like, I had that demographic just covered. And, it was awesome because the fact that, you know, you get so many stories as an older ex-Yankee, and you know how much we were interwoven in the lives of the fans, and you know, from really happy, uplifting to kind of like sad, tragic things. You know, this is my grandpa. You know, he was just in, you know, his last, you know, time, and he would not go away until he would see the last out of the game, the World Series, and people, you know, in their deathbeds, and then, you know, people that, you know, well, you know, this bonding thing that I have with my dad or my grandpa, you know, it's because of you guys. Right. And it's so many of those stories that, you know, it's like, it is just a privilege and a blessing to be part of that, you know, and the more you hear them, the more proud you feel being part of this Yankee fan base and everything that holds.
Well, thank you so much for all those memories, and you're creating new musical memories, man.
Yes,
My God.
That is right. Yeah.
That's one of the cooler second lives I think any baseball player has put together. So.
Yeah, it is great coming from that symbiotic relationship, you know, between baseball and music. You know, the one thing that I got from music as a baseball player was making these connections with timing and you know, work ethic and discipline, and then playing, you know, with 55,000 people, you know, taking it back to the stage, playing under pressure, taking all of that into the stage, playing music at, you know, everywhere that I play. It's this give and take, and a lot of great things that I've been able to take from both worlds.
Bernie, thank you so much. Everyone, if you have the chance, go see it. Carnegie Hall, January 13th, 8 p.m. I think I have to buy my mom tickets.
Yes.
So she'll see you there. And thank you again, Bern.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I didn't know how to preface that because that's, again,